Well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Turkey Day.
It's rare that a holiday actually falls on a Thursday
Yeah, you're right.
when we're doing our show.
Right.
And right now, I'm sure the audience may not be as big as it normally is for 1 o'clock on
They're
a Thanksgiving
excused.
Day
Well, we get
because
it.
we got the turkeys in the oven, the casseroles are getting ready to go in a little bit.
It's all, yeah,
Right.
I'm very organized.
Yeah, and we want to meet with you and wish you a happy Thanksgiving and all before the company arrives. And we also, want to take a moment to share our Thanksgiving Day with our dear friend and producer of our program and sponsor of our program, Christine Dean. Christine is the DFW Networking Diva. That's her website. You can get a free consultation. Wouldn't suggest you call her today. She's probably busy cooking.
Probably.
But get in touch with her and ask her to review your website. She'll do it for free. She'll look at it. She'll give you recommendations and say, you're good to go. Or, you know what? I might tweak it and suggest that you do this or you do that. She's a good soul. She knows what she's talking about and all. And we highly, highly recommend her for any of your business and marketing needs.
Absolutely.
Well, as I say, it's that yearly
Wow.
tradition.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I had a conversation with somebody that said that, and I don't know why, but they don't really like to do turkey on Thanksgiving.
A lot of people don't. Your daughter doesn't.
Yeah, they like to do
No.
ham
Yeah.
or sometimes even chicken, which to me is like a
No, a lot of people.
like a second grade turkey. Although I can understand why some people might do chicken or so if it's only like 2 people or 3 or 4 people because the turkeys are usually so big. It's messy. Let's face it. There's no such thing as an
But you
easy.
get so many leftovers with turkey. I mean, you can have sandwiches, you can have turkey tetrazzini, not chicken tetrazzini or chicken tetrazzini.
Right.
So
Turkey
many
soup, turkey stew.
Yeah, I mean, you can just nurse it for a couple of weeks.
I remember my grandmother and my mother also. Boy, you did not throw the carcass of the turkey away after Thanksgiving. You put it in a big pot and you boiled it down to get every little morsel of turkey off of the bone. And the bone actually, the bones that were in the pot, those added a lot of flavor. And that turkey broth was incredible. And my mom used to use it for gravies. She used to use it for soups. You could do all kinds of things with the turkey.
My mom
turkey
not so
reduction,
much.
It was called.
Turkey reduction?
Yeah, when you take the turkey and
I never heard that saying.
Yep. And then what she'd do is after she would boil out the turkey, then you would strain out all of the bones,
right, yes.
Get rid of all of the bones, and also all you were left with was the broth. Then you would have to let it cool or you'd put it in the refrigerator because all of the fat then would rise and you would skim off the fat, and what was left was just pure turkey.
But it's a major production, isn't it?
It was major production. And I think Thanksgiving
is a major production.
Basically is a major production. Unless you make it potluck and you worry about the turkey and maybe the stuffing, and somebody else brings a couple of casseroles, somebody else brings some desserts, somebody else brings salad.
Which I think a lot of people do that now. When we were growing up, not so much. Whoever was hosting it, having it at their house, they were the ones making the entire thing. Maybe you brought a dessert, or maybe you brought an appetizer, maybe.
Yeah.
But now I think that's what it's all come to. Everyone just kind of chips in and does it.
And you do it, you bring everything over and you have your little hors d'oeuvres and everything while you're usually watching a football game.
Yeah.
That kicks off at noon.
Or
maybe you start one there's usually a 3 o'clock game too, which means that during halftime is when everybody grabs a plate full of food. Then you go back to that game, and then there's usually a game in the evening when you have your desserts.
Dessert, yeah, gotta have dessert. Gotta have dessert. But it could be that the men are in one room watching the game, and some women, but those that aren't interested are in another room. Yeah, socializing. That's where the separation of men and women usually comes. Well, there are a lot of women that like football.
Yeah,
And there are some men that don't.
Yeah.
So it just, yeah, I mean, it depends. But I will say that there were a couple of years in there that for one reason or another, we did not have a homemade Thanksgiving. And we went out and we bought the turkey.
Boston Market
And Boston Market was
was
pretty close to
what?
home cooking, but it's still not the same. I will say that it's definitely not the same as cooking it yourself.
It's never the same, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the people that are watching and listening all have really fond memories of what they've done in recent years for Thanksgiving and what they've done decades ago. My mother, the door was always open to anybody. If there was anybody in our neighborhood that didn't have a place to go for Thanksgiving, somehow my mother would find out, and she would call and have one of the neighbors whose family was out of town or whatever, and invite them over. And
yeah, she was very good about that.
And then, did you always have the kiddies table in the other room?
For anything. It didn't have to be just Thanksgiving. It could have been something else.
Yeah. It was a kids table. And there was also, what was the age when you moved from the kiddies table to the dining room with the adults?
When you got married and had children. Not till then.
Yeah.
I think I was in college and I was still at the kiddies table.
When you had
their chairs so you could get out. But yeah, and the kitchen wasn't that huge either. And everybody was trying to help do dishes, dry dishes, put things on a platter. Those were good days. Those were fun times.
And also some of the memories are too that before, during, and after Thanksgiving, a lot revolves around the kitchen. The food is just sitting there on the island, and you start picking at it a little bit. Just take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I just want
just a taste.
Official tasters to make sure everything was okay for everybody else to eat.
Yeah, it basically is the same today. I think everybody gathers. You bring people in that don't have a place to go. It's a little easier because all the houses now are being built with big islands. So you can get more people in.
And a lot of double stoves.
Yeah, and a lot of double stoves.
Which you need.
Yeah. But you make a mean apple pie. I will say that for you, boy.
That's kind of my specialty every year. And
I look forward to dessert.
My mom and my grandmother.
Yeah.
They were big on making apple pies, and that's a recipe that I cherish, and I usually make it every year. And yet, over the years, it seems like that whatever that quote unquote traditional turkey Thanksgiving dinner was, it seems to have spread. Like you have not only have apple pie, but people generally want to have some pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Mincemeat pie was another Thanksgiving dish. And then sometimes somebody would throw in some cake or some cookies or brownies or whatever. And you'd have so many choices.
Your mom must have had at least half a dozen different desserts.
Yeah, but she always used to have 2 apple pies because everybody had had to have a piece of apple pie and maybe a little sliver of something else.
But she liked pumpkin pie, and there were lots of us that didn't. Yeah, so that was fine.
You're not a big fan of pumpkin pie.
No.
Even once a year, a little bit for Thanksgiving.
No, I want that apple pie.
Just
apple pie.
Apple pie.
Yeah.
And a la mode, or just by itself?
Just by itself. You know me, I'm the plain person of the family. Why would you? To me, that's almost ruining. That's covering up that delicious apple pie
by putting ice cream on it.
Yeah,
not necessarily.
In my book, it is.
Well, I mean, sometimes you have the apple pie and then you have the ice cream separate. Some people put it on top. My dad used to put a slice of American cheese.
I know. That was very unusual. I had never seen that.
Yeah. And I've tried it, and I'm not a real fan, but
I don't know how he got that one.
Because he wasn't a real ice cream person, but for some reason, and I don't know where the tradition came from.
How did that come?
He used to put a slice of American or even cheddar cheese on top of his apple pie.
No. Now chocolate. That would be
drizzle
interesting.
chocolate on top of your apple pie.
I'm just saying for those that are real chocoholics.
I don't.
But
But
What-
what were some of the side dishes that you enjoyed?
side dishes? Sweet potatoes. Love those sweet potatoes with the marshmallows on the top
Mhm.
that I would put.
You bake
Yeah,
it
you first do the sweet potatoes or the yams
with brown
in a
sugar.
casserole with a little bit of sugar. You don't need a whole lot. And the last 5 or 10 minutes, you put those marshmallows right on the top and you broil them and
Yeah. And
Terrific.
it's a fairly easy recipe, as was one of the traditions was the green bean casserole.
yeah. And our daughter-in-law makes a mean green bean casserole.
Green bean casserole. And again,
Yeah.
those are simple, not many ingredients,
No.
usually cream and mushroom
No.
soup, and you put
No.
those French's
Onion
onions,
rings.
rings
Mhm.
and all on top. And that was easy. But then over the years, there were a lot of people that had to have sweet potatoes and mashed potatoes. And
Yes.
mashed potatoes.
Our daughter-in-law likes to do that.
Yeah.
She likes both.
Yeah, likes
Yeah, her family
mashed potatoes.
does. Yeah.
And I always kind of thought mashed potatoes, do that for like your Christmas meal or something.
Everybody's different.
They are.
Your mom did a wonderful 7-layer salad with lettuce and carrots and peas and bacon, and that was
sour
pretty
cream
light instead
yeah.
of having a regular salad.
And that usually didn't go real quickly because everybody that was the problem. I don't know anybody that has a large enough plate to accommodate all the things that are being offered.
You're supposed to take little portions.
I know,
not large
portions. And in the old days, you take your turkey and your gravy and your stuffing, and you had 5 or 6 choices, and you take a little bit. Now you got 20 choices, and you don't know how to put everything on the plate.
Sometimes you take 5 and then you go back for 5 more.
You go back.
Yeah.
And then you loosen your belt
right
after dinner, and then all the desserts come out. And
well, you usually like to take time. That's when you gather the dishes. Maybe you put them in the dishwasher, you wash some by hand, you get everything organized and let your food digest. And maybe an hour later, maybe. And football, yes.
Maybe. Yeah, let your food digest. Thanksgiving dinner usually doesn't digest for 3 days.
It is a little heavy.
And you always make more
of course.
Larger quantities so that you have leftovers.
Of course.
Yeah, because leftovers are always
that's it. I mean, there were times we didn't have leftovers for did we have too many people? Did I not make enough? Whatever. And boy, that's a real letdown.
Well, my mom always used to go out and get those little tins, round tins, because when everybody left the house, you'd leave with food to take home.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And when I don't have it at my house, I kind of miss all of the leftovers. But
yeah,
it is what it is. I said calories. I look at it that way. I'm saving the calories.
And the one thing we didn't mention, and you don't often mention it for things, salad. I mean, there's
I just said your mom made 7-layer salad.
Well, a 7-layer salad
instead of the green salad.
Yeah, traditional salads. If you make a big traditional bowl of salad, there's usually a lot of it left because people will say, "I'm not going to waste the space that it takes on the plate."
Yeah,
for that.
But I'm sure that there are a lot of people that don't like the potatoes and don't like the green beans and the sauces and would prefer to do vegetables, and maybe they don't eat meat. Our grandson doesn't eat meat, so I'm not quite sure what he's going to have this year at Thanksgiving.
Well, he likes the stuffing, and he'll eat the green beans. He does eat the.
It's a lot of heavy foods for Thanksgiving, and
but we know it's coming. We know it's coming every year, and we start off by waking up Thanksgiving morning and saying, "This year I'm gonna go a little light," and I have to be honest. I usually only get 1 or 2 slices of turkey, again because I want to eat all the other stuff around, and then maybe if I'm still hungry, go back for a third slice of turkey. I rarely do.
No, I don't either.
My mom used to love the drumstick.
I know.
A few people like that, and do not slice up a drumstick. Just Give it to somebody and let them just
go at it.
Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I would say.
Yeah. You know,
Well, whatever way you celebrate it, being taken, bring in, cooking, maybe somebody has hot dogs and hamburgers for Thanksgiving. I don't know who.
maybe they're turkey dogs.
Maybe they're turkey dogs, yes.
Yeah.
But there are some people that are not from this country originally, and so they don't
turkey patties.
they don't get into it. So whatever you decide to do on Thanksgiving, we hope it's an enjoyable Thanksgiving.
And share it with family and friends, you know, because that's the most meaningful part of it. And hey, isn't that what Thanksgiving was all about when it started back when the Pilgrims met with the Indians and they sat down to have the first Thanksgiving dinners
They
together?
broke bread together.
That's what it was all about. Yep. So
happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Enjoy yourself, and I'll save you a slice of apple pie. Bye.
Bye.